Here we go. Good evening. We are tonight's entertainment. Will someone please explain to me what the hell is going on?
Cool. Like I said, the random stuff.
That was unpleasant. I'm sorry you had to see that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know how this machine worked.
Let's start the show.
And welcome to episode 34 of the Geek Conclave Mixtapes. I'm your host, Eddie Fergoso, and I got my two lovely co-hosts with me. I got Paul Fernando and Tommy Dello. How you guys doing?
Thank you for calling me lovely, by the way.
That was new.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody?
So, little slight change in format for the video version. I'm gonna try editing on a new thing after tonight. I'm gonna try to ditch Adobe because it gives me a bunch of problems. I'm not sure if I can blame Adobe or YouTube. So for those of you who do keep track of the podcast, there was an audio version and not a video version. I tried to upload it and I kept getting to like 60% and YouTube kept shutting down. So I don't know if it was a codec that issue with Adobe, because I did try changing the codec a couple times. Tried changing it to 720 format to see if maybe something was wrong. And yeah, it just didn't work. So I'm going to try to use DaVinci Resolve now to edit the podcast. So with that said, I'm going to probably add clips and stuff. So I'm basically going to test the heck out of the YouTube copyright and see if they flag me. I don't know.
Good luck.
Yeah. With that said, I need to be more active on it. So I'm going to try to post. Actually, I'm going to do that now while I'm on the podcast. So I am going to post us recording on our Instagram, which you can follow at Geek Conclave Podcast. So let me do that right now. Add to the story. Boom. All right, we're in. For the gram, they say. So yeah. The topics that we're going to cover was a very fun week for Marvel, so we're going to cover a lot of Marvel stuff. Basically, this whole episode is Marvel, sprinkled with a little bit of Warner Brothers news. So it'll be the Moon Knight finale. We'll be reviewing it and then rating it. Then obviously the Multiverse of Madness came out and we all saw it, so we're going to be talking about that. And will be spoilers, so just heads up. And then, just because now we've come across, hold on, I have it here, kind of, I guess, mid-level of Phase 4. We're going to talk about, how it's doing as a whole, and if it's, we all know where it's going, if we know where it's going, not that we do know where it's going, where we're predicting based off what's going on. So, that's kind of, the show in a nutshell. And with that said, besides the movies, how's the rest of your week been, guys? Anything new? Tommy?
Good, Tommy.
Same old, just work. Back to work this week. I took, I think I worked one day last week, so back to normal schedule. So, yeah. Well, it was I took Monday off, just I was exhausted. Tuesday, spent some time with girlfriend. She was off. I worked on Wednesday. Thursday I had a dentist appointment. And I was since it was all sporadic like that, I think I just took Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. I cleaned my mom's yard on Friday and Saturday, and Mother's Day was on Sunday. So that was my last week. This week is just normal work. So, but
Didn't you go to Disneyland, or was that like a couple weeks back?
Weeks back. Couple weeks back.
Okay.
So had that lobster. I don't know if you guys had it. That lobster mac and cheese.
I have not.
Not the mac and cheese.
Lobster mac and cheese is so good. So
Dangerous good, huh?
it was really good. It was really good.
Yeah,
so next time we go, I'll show you that
I don't remember.
spot.
Did you put it in the group chat or did you just text me about it? I know you told me about it. 'Cause this is like the third time you've brought it up.
Yeah, I've been
You
telling
really
everybody about
liked
it.
it.
You gotta go. It's really good. That was like the best
Which
package
park was that?
I think it's
Disneyland. It's
Oh, it's a
right
Disneyland site?
across Disneyland. It's right across from the Haunted Mansion called the Harbor Galley. Right.
Oh,
next
Harbor
to
Galley.
it. They have
Oh,
that-
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's
They have
doable. I mean, when we go for a celebration and we go to the park that day, I'm down to try it.
They have lobster rolls there. Lobster rolls or like whatever. It wasn't worth it. But the lobster mac and cheese, they served it in the bowl. Had a little spice to it.
It's a regular bowl or bread bowl?
Bread bowl. So, yeah. So it was a good value too. It was only like $13. Like it was really good.
So good.
So,
Oh, there you go,
next
Disney
time.
parks. We just gave you a plug for your lobster mac and cheese.
So now I'm kind of interested. Like that's why I texted you today, Paul. I was like, hey, where was that at? Let me try that next time. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm on a mission.
I had an Impossible burger. That burger was an Impossible one, and I was like,
Good?
ooh, yeah, it was good. Like,
Yeah.
Did it
think that's
have
one
that
of the best-
aftertaste though, or no? Because that's my only thing with like Impossible meats. Like sometimes, like don't get me wrong, like they're good while you eat it, but then afterwards you get like that weird aftertaste.
no, this one didn't have
Ooh.
any aftertaste, and it had texture to it, and I was just like, this was good. Like,
I wonder if that's the one that I had a couple years ago when they did the food festival. Because there
this
was one that
was
had in the food festival that me and my dad ate, and until my dad was halfway through the burger, I let him know that he was eating a plant-based burger, and he was like, "What?" Because it was really good. Like we didn't even know it.
It was a barbecue one, the one that I had.
No, the one
so
we had it was like California style, so it was avocado with bacon, but the bacon
Okay.
was also plant. So
That's awesome.
it was good.
But yeah, I went to Disneyland today, and I mainly went to go see the new Marvel stuff, which was cool.
You got to see
what
Scarlet
Marvel
Witch.
stuff? Just the characters, or what'd you see?
Well,
I know you took.
yeah, it
Send
was
us
mainly
the
Scarlet
pictures.
Witch, because the three characters that they added was Scarlet Witch, America Chavez, and Moon Knight. The two versions of Moon Knight, but the only one that came out from the beginning of the day was Scarlet Witch. So I got to see her.
You didn't see the other two.
No, but I heard that they're only going to be there till like May, which kind of sucks. So
Well, that's kind of what they did with Loki, unfortunately. Like,
Yeah.
I know when we went this last time, like my mom walked around, she's like, "Where's Loki?" And I'm like, "Oh, he's up there." But she's like, but he was like in Avengers, like Loki, and she's like, "No. Like I thought you told me he was like in the show." I was like, "Oh, that was during the show." I go, "It's not.
yeah,
It's not. I mean, that's the one thing that kind of sucks, but
but it does make it kind of cool because it's so limited that you kind of when it was when you saw them there.
it's just another excuse to get a pass, which I don't have yet." Yeah.
It's actually really affordable. Eddie. Like
No, I'm
I'm only
aware.
saying-
There's only like the low level tier left anyway. as
I
of
have the
today, but-
second to the bottom. I have we're paying like $39 a month, 78 for the both of us.
Well, I know
So-
my brother got one too because he went to Disneyland yesterday. So
Nice.
he got one. He has one with his girlfriend. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm kind of waiting it out because first world problems. I just don't like the reservation system. I get why it exists.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking it for that. I just don't personally like the thing that I had when I did have a pass. It was pretty cool to be like, oh, you know what? I feel like going to Disneyland today. And like you can't really do that anymore. I mean, you can, but you have to be. From what I heard, you have to be like religiously on the app, like on the hour, to be like, oh, someone canceled. I have a reservation. I don't got time for that. So I really
Yeah,
got
that's
time
what happened
play
to
my
me, though.
PlayStation. So
I think my girlfriend found out she had a day off when we went 2 weeks ago. She found out like that Sunday that she had a day off, so she just happened to check if the reservation was available for the next day. So we were able to get in. So how we got in, I guess.
Yeah, no, I know people get lucky with it sometimes, but then I also have friends who paid for the super expensive one and they haven't gotten to go as many times as they thought. And I know the value from what I've seen, like the one that both you guys have, or Paul, you have the higher level than Tommy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have the second to the highest.
Yeah, but Paul's isn't
It's
even
the one
available
right
anymore.
above
It's not
me.
even, yeah, but I mean, I know that those seem to get more value than the people that had that paid all the money for the most expensive one.
Hey, you could save that money to go to Disney World.
Yeah, no, I mean that's what I'm saving. Like, I'll eventually probably will get a pass again, but I'm gonna wait till it eventually goes back to the old system and see how they phase that out. That won't probably be for like another year and a half or two, but.
Side news: the Guardians of the Galaxy ride opened up, kind of.
It was down?
No, the one in Walt Disney World, the Cosmic Rerun.
Oh, okay. Oh, right.
There's like the media people, they got to go already, and they really like the ride so far. And one media member, I'm not gonna say, if you just go through YouTube, he said that he went on like 19 times already.
Props. That's respect right there. I remember when I'm not at work there anymore now, so I can say it, but like when Ghost Galaxy was a thing, I think I worked the first year it was there. I just remember they were letting, like, before they opened it, like the week before, they were like, oh yeah, you guys can go ride Ghost Galaxy like on your break or whatever. Like, we'll let us know and then we'll make sure to schedule it. Man, I rode that thing like every day, like until they were opening it. They're like, Eddie, you still haven't gone? And like I just made sure, and I was like, no, is it cool? Like, I played it off, and then like someone outed me and they're like, he's ridden this thing like every day, and I'm like, all right, well, I was like, guilty, so it's really good.
I'm just testing it, guys.
I was like, but yeah, no. So respect to the 19-time riding. I understand the feeling. What was I gonna say? Yeah, the funny thing, my sister posted one of those Loungefly things, I guess, that they announced from it too. It's there's other Guardians of the Galaxy merch that opened for that Cosmic Rewind, but there's like a Star-Lord Loungefly, and I know it's like considered girly, but your boy kind of wants one, so.
Wow.
It looked cool. It's like his helmet, and he's got the headphones on. Like, it's pretty cool. Like, I mean, I would never wear it in public, but I would keep it in my room.
Did she get to ride the ride or just go into the area, or no?
No, because it wasn't anywhere close to like being a soft opening when she went. Like, or if it was, they didn't have the connections. I'm pretty sure it was probably doing like the cast soft previews, what they do out here sometimes. So, but no, she walked by. She said like it like from what you could see, like it looks cool. So yeah, maybe next year, hopefully. Say some other stuff that was kind of cool. James Hong got a star today, so that was kind of.
Oh yeah, seen that.
Kind of cool. I a little tidbit. 70 years in Hollywood, and he never got a star, and he made like 600 plus films. 600 plus. It's ridiculous. But congratulations that he got one. So that was pretty cool.
Like the Red Hot Chili Peppers barely getting a star also.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's a weird process. I guess the reason why certain people don't have it and other people do is like someone has to pay for you to get it. And so that's the thing. Like they basically started a GoFundMe kind of for James Hong to get it, and they started it last year, and it met its quota. So that's pretty cool.
Power of the people.
Yeah. One more thing before we cover the stuff I mentioned. So it kind of got an update today, and I thought it was kind of cool, and kind of a nice way to talk about video games, because I do want to talk about video game stuff, but I don't know. They just kind of get lost in the shuffle. So we'll do a quick little video game update. It's about Gotham Knights. So Gotham Knights officially releases this year on October 25th. The cool thing, I mean, for us, it kind of sucks if you don't have one yet because they're still really hard to get. Is WB Montreal has officially said no PS4 or Xbox One. They canceled making those versions, so this is strictly going to be a next gen release. So you have PS5 and your Xbox Series S or X, and then PC. So for those who want the game, hopefully you have the ability to get it on one of these consoles or computer, because I know that it's still really hard to get the Xbox X's or S's. Well, the S's are easier, but or the PS5. I know it's getting a little better, but I know it's still kind of hard to get them. But I think we talked about it a couple times, Gotham Knights. But for those who don't know, it is an open world action RPG. The story setting is said it takes place in Dark Metropolis, but I think it also does Gotham City, because one of the perks of the editions is giving you a map of Gotham City, like a physical map. So I don't know if that was a typo on them, but this is kind of a spoiler, I guess, but not really, because I'm pretty sure they showed it in the gameplay. You take on crime fighting after Batman dies. So you play as Robin, Batgirl, Red Hood, or Nightwing. So if I wasn't,
do you know if it's
go ahead.
Do you know if it's a continuation of Arkham Knight?
No, it's. I mean, I know W Games Montreal, who did Origins, is it's doing it, but as of now, it says no tie to Arkham Knight.
Any of the previous Arkham games?
No. So the 3 editions got announced. You have your standard $69.99, which is just the game, and then there's a collector's edition for $299.99. So that's $300.
$300?
Well, yeah, $299.99. Hey, you're good. You're good, Paul. It's fine. What was I gonna say? Oh, I got distracted by the dog. Sorry. So
that's your sister's dog, right, Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is she playing with Britta or no? Where's Britta at?
Still downstairs.
They're running around. Okay.
So, the collector's edition comes with a 4-character statue diorama, an augmented reality Talon key, a 16-page media book, the exclusive Gotham City map, and then you get exclusive gears and cosmetics, and you get Batman Beyond skins. Or, well, it's like everyone has a look inspired by Batman Beyond. And then there's, for the deluxe edition, which is $89.99, you just get the Batman skins and the exclusive gear and cosmetics. So all the extra stuff is only in the collector's edition. All 3 are going to give you a pre-order bonus, and it's the 233 custom Batcycle skin is what it is. So it's from the issue of Batman 233. It's that Batcycle skin. That's what they kind of have for it. So I just thought it was kind of cool, because as far as like the Arkham games go, they were really good. W Games Montreal ironically kind of did make the weakest one, but like the story wise, though, it was pretty good.
That's debatable.
Gameplay wise, it was still really buggy, and I've gone back and tried to play it, and I still get the same bugs and glitches even after updates. I mean, granted, it was on the 360, but
it's not as tight. It's not as tight as the.
But story-wise, it was still really good. I'm just saying the gameplay, so I don't want to sound like an asshole. Like, it was a fun story to play. Just the game itself did not have the same flow as Arkham Asylum and City.
The one thing I did like about the was it Arkham Origins was the boss battles. The fighting you fight against Bane, the Killer Croc, Deathstroke. So they had some good boss battles. Like that's
Copperhead
something that
was the hard one.
Yeah, Copperhead. Like, you don't have any of that in Arkham Knight. I think you fight against like Firefly. You don't really. They have like good like side missions, but there's no. They don't have any boss battles, which is disappointing, because you would want to see Batman go up against like his rogues gallery, and they just don't have that. And that's the one thing that game is missing, is that the boss battle. So.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it might be implemented in this style. Like, it's not connected to the Arkham Knight series. I know it's kind of misleading because of Gotham Knights, but I don't know. It still looks pretty cool, and I'm kind of like more excited now that it's next gen. So
Is it 4-player co-op? You know, does it say that in there?
it should be because you can play as 4 characters.
That's-
Now, as far as the
yeah.
online goes, I don't know if they're gonna do what these other companies have been doing. Because the funny thing with the Lego Star Wars game, I thought that me and my brother could play. I mean, it's funny because we're in the same household, but we can't play each other. You can't play online co-op.
Oh,
You have to be. It's only couch co-op. So.
It's still cool though, because they need. I mean, couch co-op games are cool. Like, especially you and your brother.
Well, I mean,
household,
it's
you know
cool,
what I mean?
yeah,
But-
for the same household. But let's
But they
say,
should-
like in
they should
today's
have that.
age with the pandemic, you think they would have like made it kind of more accessible?
Yeah, they need to bring back like. They need to make more. We need to do like a game night where we just play games for like an hour or two. You know what I mean? Just veg out on some co-op games or something like that. Hopefully, we'll set that up in the future. We could do like you could do streaming. I just want to play.
Well, hopefully. Well, my schedule is getting more official work-wise, and since things are kind of going back to normal in the store anyway. My hours might end up being more accessible to like play games and just like record stuff. So
Yeah,
hopefully.
I haven't turned on my console. I can't remember the last time I turned on my console. So
it's all right. I know they don't listen, but that Madden League is dead in the water.
is it?
Yeah, I'm on my bye week, and I've been on the bye week for almost a month. So,
Oh wow.
but the last text was while I was taking care of my mom. I was saying, "Hey, I'm on my bye week, so when you guys are done playing your games, just let me know and I'll restart it." Crickets.
Yeah.
Crickets.
Nothing. Do you see any of the guys at work when you work?
Oh
or
yeah,
no?
like they make the joke because the one dude that played the Ravens, Sebastian, is the only one that tried to play it. Cause he's like, "Are we ever gonna advance?" Like, you gotta talk to everybody else, bro. Like, I can't advance them, but like, I don't want anybody complaining that I didn't win because, yeah. So.
That guy that guy kind of broke the game.
Yeah. Like I said, he doesn't listen. If he does listen, yeah, that's why the game nobody wants to play because you broke it and you cheated and you made a super team. But
You tell Paul what he did. He traded for he's already the Ravens with Lamar Jackson, who's already overpowered.
Mm-hmm.
But then he traded for T.J. Watt, Myles Garrett. Who else did he have on that squad?
I don't
He
know.
had
His whole defensive line is like ridiculous.
Yeah, he had a bunch of like.
He's got his team.
superstars.
His team. So when we were trying to check it to make sure, I'm like, oh well, like he basically went all in because we were gonna continue the franchise after the season, and like just keep going until the 2023 came out. But I think the Buccaneers have like 6 90-player teams. Like they're the most in the game. They're the because they were the champions. They had the most 9 players at 90. When we went down to his roster and checked it, he had 12 players in the 90s. So
Yeah.
and he went on YouTube videos to see how to like manipulate trades and stuff like that. So
How you do it is you go and you pick up free agents because it says team needs. So like if a team needs like a D lineman or whatever, then
you
go
just
and
go pick up
that
like
D
a
lineman.
yeah.
Whatever that team needs, and then you trade for whoever you need to get. But yeah, he kind of I don't know. I don't know how to police that either. You know what I mean? I don't.
Yeah.
You would have to look into that, how to police that to kind of get it so somebody doesn't do that. I had a cousin do that as well, but he had commissioner power, so he would do a lot of trades, but he edited his players like all 99 overall, like everything. So
It's not fun that way, man. It's not. It's
no,
not
I
fun.
know. It wasn't fun playing him in the Super Bowl either. I didn't realize what he had done. So yeah.
We'll see. Maybe one day I'll get to play him. I might because I know he just wants he's mad because he wants to play me. So
If you play him, you have to learn how to manipulate your defensive line to contain the quarterback. Hopefully that'll help you. or shift it, where you have them all slant it to the right, and then you be the other guy to kind of contain them.
Yeah.
So make them make legit throws, keep them in the pocket. You know.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to. I didn't play enough to know how to do that. Like, that's one thing I was frustrated with. I didn't have enough time to invest in the game to get good at it.
Yeah.
To counter what he was doing, you know. So.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, it was
That's
just
one
too
thing.
hard.
It's like chess. It's just rock paper scissors. Like, he does something, you have to do something else.
Yeah, we'll see.
So.
I mean, last year I beat him, so it's a different game though. But
yeah, it's
we'll
a different game, and he was cheating.
So yeah. So sorry about the little tangent on Madden. We'll talk about something more engaging for everybody. The Moon Knight finale. So Moon Knight is said and done.
Oi, don't say that. That's not true.
So we'll talk about the finale and then kind of give an overview of everything in a whole on how you can see how you guys rate all of Moon Knight. So the finale was called Gods and Monsters. Oh yeah, and heads up, this is spoilers. So if you have not seen the finale, probably just end the episode, because right after that we're gonna talk about Multiverse, and I'm also gonna do spoilers for that. So all right, now that everyone's heard the spoiler round, I'm gonna start. So Mark, so it opens up with Mark like in the afterlife, and he just goes back for Steven, and they then get to like basically come back to life. But while this is happening, Layla is trying to stop Arthur from taking over with Ammit, the goddess that he's been trying to release the whole series. And then Ammit is, in the series, she's a goddess, but I guess in actual Egyptian history, when I looked up what she was, she's like a sphinx, but with an alligator head. But she serves like another goddess. But in Marvel version, she's basically like another version of like, she indicates how you go to the afterlife. The only thing that sucks about her though is that she goes based off something you will do, not necessarily what you do. So if like you, in her, basically when she like balances your scales, if she sees that you're gonna like, let's say particularly murder somebody, but you actually don't go out and do it, it says you were going to do it, she automatically punishes you. So that's like kind of where she's like an extreme, and that's like where her and Khonshu kind of conflict. So while this is happening, Layla is trying to free. She goes to stop him, and then she witnesses Ammit start doing where he starts killing people, and I wrote her name down, Tauret, which was the hippo goddess lady. She kind of enchants bodies to try to tell her what to do, saying that she needs to free Khonshu. So she runs to the temple where all the other gods that were like, oh crap, hey, Ammit is being released, kind of like what we were warned about. And I know I was going to say what it is, but I'm just going to give my 2 piece on this part. I thought it was funny because Karma intervened and their avatars got whooped on. So they're basically like, Ammit was overpowered them and they were getting destroyed. So Layla gets in there, and it's in the temple that they had the meeting in episode 3, and she's able to free Khonshu. While this is happening, it's basically the place is being destroyed. So because she can't, once she frees Khonshu, Khonshu senses that Mark is still dead, so he tries to convince Layla to be his avatar, which is kind of what you find out he wanted it in the beginning. Hence why Mark didn't want to tell Layla anything. So she denies it, basically using Mark as an example, saying why would I want to do that since it drove him crazy. So she refuses to be it, and then Khonshu tries to fight Ammit on his own. And while this is happening, Layla then Tauret comes back saying that she's too weak on her own, that she needs to do something else. So she agrees momentarily. From the show, it seems like it was momentarily to be her avatar, and so that's when she got to become the Scarlet Scarab. And so while this is happening, then they show Mark again, and he comes at peace with everything, and then he's able to be let through a door, which then the next scene is like he gets Khonshu senses that he's like coming back to the land of the living, so then he gives him his power again. He becomes Moon Knight, and then it just commences into a really big epic battle that some people have compared to like a Godzilla movie. And then while they're fighting, it comes to the point where like you find out they're trying to re-enchant Amit into like something again to like bind her god form, and so they bind her to Arthur since he was the Avatar. Like she gets trapped in Arthur, and Khonshu wants Mark to kill him, but because I skipped something. Mark had agreed to be Moon Knight one more time, but then be done with like his contract services. So while he's Moon Knight this time, Steven also like accepts the mantle, like, so they're both in control of their powers, so like they're at peak like Moon Knight powers, but they both like don't want to kill Amit, so because they've already served their purpose by taking her down, like they tell Khonshu like they're done, and then it ends like, so like basically like Amit gets him or Arthur gets admitted into like a hospital, but before that scene it goes back to like the first episode where like Steven's back in like that apartment, and it's kind of pretty much the same scene, the same music plays, and it's basically to show like everything's kind of back to normal. And then the post-credit scene shows Arthur in his like his version of the asylum, and he gets picked up by a person you're not supposed to know until the very end, which is still Mark, but it's not Mark because he's Jake Lockley, and it's you see that he's still serving Khonshu, which was like a holy shit moment. But that was episode 6. I will say like my favorite stuff from it, and then you guys can go for. So for me, it was cool. There was some stuff that I kind of like was like, what the like, it's kind of weird. So my only complaint with it was kind of the beginning, because of like Five's like Rick set up with Steven falling and turning and being frozen. I guess it was kind of a weird resolution to just have him like walk back to him and then be like everything was okay. Like I thought that specifically in the previous episode, like Tawret was like, oh yeah, you can't once you like, because she like once she said that so I guess the only thing he did sacrifice is that when he dies now he can't go to heaven because he denied that part, but she said that he couldn't go back to like living either because it was like you're gonna be stuck in hell. But then for some reason like they didn't really specify that why he got to come back to life. Like I guess that's the one thing where they didn't execute correctly. I get it, it's because it's his show that it was supposed to happen, but I just feel like they didn't explain it right enough, so I was just kind of like, what the fuck. But then I kind of let that go, and then everything else was pretty cool. So I thought the fighting was cool. I thought Layla's Scarlet Scarab was really cool, and Steven kind of spoke for me like in the scene where I'm like,
Wow, you look amazing. What are you wearing?
she looked really hot. Like I'm not even gonna like sugarcoat it. She was like really hot as Scarlet Scarab. So big thumbs up, May Calloway. Think you're hot. And yeah, the show in itself was just really cool. I liked the finale. The end credit scene was really cool, and hopefully it's a setup for season 2, but I'll tell you guys why I'm kind of skeptical on that happening. But I do like that Jake Lockley, how each interpretation has kind of been changed a little bit. I like how Jake Lockley got to be the Spanish of Oscar Isaac, so I like that he spoke Spanish at the end, and instead of being, I guess he's a limo driver. We still don't know his other professions, but he's obviously like still serving Khonshu, which is the loophole for them to keep the powers. So, but yeah, that was my quick. I think the episode was cool. Paul or Tommy, whoever wants to go, whatever you guys liked out of it.
Oh, you want to go ahead?
Sure. Overall, I thought it finished well on there. I like the pacing of this one. I do like the message that it kind of gives off on there on a couple. Excuse me, on a couple things. I like how overall, like with the whole what's it called, the multiple personality disorder type thing. I think I don't know if they're trying to go for us to have it normal, like to have it more like accepted, in terms of like a what's called, I don't know if it's like a, if you can say disease or anything like that, but I thought it was a good thing to have, that people do have it and it's actually a real thing and not just like for a superhero type thing.
Yeah.
Um, and I like the fact that he couldn't be balanced without the other. So I think some people in reality actually need to have something like that to kind of progress, I would say. And then the other thing I liked was I know on Twitter it was kind of one of the bigger things, is when Layla, uh, when it was like the big fight and then she was stopping that van, and then the girl talks to Layla saying, "Are you an Egyptian superhero?" And she says yes. And I think that was kind of a really big thing, because even on Twitter, I know I was talking to Eddie about it. There's a lot of stories saying from people from Egyptian culture, like saying my daughter's Egyptian and she was like wondering about the Scarlet Scarab, and I think that's good to see representation. So I thought that was a really big thing for Marvel to do on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. The whole representation of that character. She was awesome. Those fight scenes at the end were awesome. Still confused with the whole psych ward thing at the end, where Hera was in there. Like it makes you doubt if it was like what was real, what wasn't. I guess I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know. We could discuss that after. Overall, it was good. I don't think it was great, but it was good. Just trying to think what else stood out in that episode. I think the fight scene, like I said, Paul said the pacing was really well done. It was shorter than all the other episodes.
Yeah,
so,
it was shorter by 10
yeah,
minutes.
which is fine. What was I saying?
No, I was gonna say, did you like the Godzilla fight? Because that's the ones with, like, there's certain parts that I've on Twitter seen people like were mixed on. People, same thing that you mentioned, the psych ward thing. Some people are still like that it's kind of confusing. And then the other thing, the reason I asked the Godzilla fight thing is because people said that the Godzilla fight was stupid. But I thought it was cool because the way that it's like the gods fighting, and then like on the bottom like the avatars, like it was just I thought I saw like the use of it, so I don't know if I'm describing it right, but I thought it was cool imagery. So
it was okay. I mean, it didn't make or break it. I guess it was just part of the episode. I guess it wasn't nothing spectacular. I guess it wasn't. Yeah. I don't know. I could have done without it. It was fine that it was in there. It didn't bother me either way. And then just kind of seeing, like you said, at the end of the end credits, so Khonshu still has control over that one personality in Moon Knight, I guess.
Yeah, well, because
in Mark are gone.
Because I know like some people were confused on that too, and then some people were upset that like Jake Lockley only showed up at the end. I just thought it was cool because, I guess if they do make a season 2, Mark and Steven technically won't have the powers of Moon Knight because their contract ended, but because Jake Lockley is the third personality that we don't know of, and he didn't make that agreement, Khonshu, he still serves Khonshu, and that's why Khonshu at the end was like, yeah, I want you to meet my friend Jake Lockley, and then like admitting that like he's like, yeah, I'm not gonna tell Mark or Steven, like why would I do that when like Jake Lockley is like perfect, like yeah, so it's like the third personality that, which is like what we saw the glimpses of. He's more dangerous, more sadistic, so
he's like more unleashed. I would have loved to seen him in action, like that one scene where Hera was standing over Mark Spector and ready to kill him with that staff that he had.
Yeah, and then the next scene,
and then he blacked out, and then it flipped, and Hera's on the bottom, and Jake Lockley standing over him. So you know what I mean? I would like to see that, and then I guess it happened throughout the whole season. We don't know exactly what he did, or because I remember that one episode where he was stabbing all those dudes, but it was I think Steven or one of them woke up, and after Jake had killed like those I forget what they were, those bad guys in Egypt. So I would have loved to see more of that. I like that they kept it like secret, but maybe a flashback to show what I had actually happened would have been cool, you know?
Oh, and
See that.
in that
You know what I mean?
end credit
I'm
scene?
always
Yeah.
wanting to see more fighting scenes, so but that would have been cool, I guess. But,
Well,
yeah, overall it was good.
hopefully there, like I said, hopefully there is a season 2. So Mohamed Diab, he's the director. He said that he hopes there's season 2, like that it's, but they haven't been greenlit anything, and so the rumor that I've kind of like read from different articles, and all the stuff online is basically, if it doesn't get greenlit, I think it's for a stupid reason. It's because it would, so that Moon Knight can be in the limited series for an award. Like if they do a season 2, it automatically gets disqualified. It won't be considered a limited series. So in order for it to win those awards, it has to remain a limited series. So
Yeah.
I don't know if they want to just, if they would end up cheating and being like after the award season and being like, oh yeah, well, by the way, we're gonna do season 2, but yeah. So I know as far as all the characters, like they still don't know what's going on with their characters. Like May Calloway's been doing a lot of press because of this, and they brought up like the Egyptian thing, and she got to speak as an actress, saying that like she's really happy that like it worked out for her, and that the message that her character had, which is Paul kind of mentioned it too, but the reason she liked playing the character was that Layla was like true to herself the whole season, and was like one of the purposes, like she didn't let it change her, and so she just liked that message, saying that like she knows it won't resonate with everybody, but that she says that if what she was hoping her character inspires is that you be true to yourself no matter what, and that's what she liked about her character. And she said the reason she felt honored and to be a superhero is because she felt when you take a superhero role, like you're getting to be the best person of yourself. So that's why she's like, as an actress, thing, she feels like she's at the best part of her career right now. And because they asked her like, well, seeing as you got turned into the superhero, like where would you want to go? And so since she said that she doesn't know anything, but she did mention that she wants to, like if she could, she'd want to meet Doctor Strange. That because she mentioned like her as just watching these movies, she said she likes the characters that are more complex. So she said she likes Nebula and like the ones that started off like villains, so she'd want to meet them. She said pretty much anybody, but she says that she just hopes that it can continue. And then I know as far as like the I didn't write her name down, and I should have, but the person who made the costumes, she said that they have a third costume for the Jake Lockley if it gets greenlit, and everyone's kind of speculating that it's the one from the comics where he's more like it's more like armor, where it's, I mean, it kind of looks like Batman, where he's still got the white cloak and cape like Mark Spector, but the suit, instead of it being white, it's like black. Or it's got like a white, the cape stops here, and then the rest of him is down. It's just black. So,
Time out 1 second.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry about that, guys.
It's all good, man. So as I was saying, like the costume designers already have like the third version of Moon Knight, since all three personas have the different versions of him, so they already have him picked out. And I know that they have more story to tell with Jake Lockley, so as far as like if they do make a season 2, I'm pretty sure they would show you his fight scenes, so you could see his version of the costume, and you get to see what he did in the first season. But the only reason I'm kind of skeptical is because Mohamed Diab, when so it was like before Doctor Strange came out officially on Friday, like, so it was like Wednesday and Thursday, like he came out and was thanking everybody for watching it and people that liked the show. And then same thing, he tweeted that the future is uncertain, but that all good things must come to an end. And his tweets were very like, we're done type thing. So the crew would move to different things anyway. So even if they do season 2, might not be the whole same crew coming back, but they basically said that it was fun. They told the story that they wanted to tell, and it seems like it might be done. And if it's for the award thing, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat. I'm gonna be really fucking pissed, because that's stupid. Like, you don't cast Oscar Isaac and not do something more with him. So it's really hard to kind of figure out where Moon Knight is in like the bigger picture for MCU, because now we're probably going to get way more articles coming out because every day there's something now. So like over the weekend, like Saturday, I read that there was an Eternals cameo with Kumail I always butcher his name. Say it for me, Paul. I know you said how to say it better than me.
I don't even know.
From Eternals, Kumail Nanjiani. Did I say it right? Nanjiani.
I'll say why not. Sure.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I butchered his name, but yeah, they were supposed to be a cameo with him that referenced Eternals, but they canceled it out. Money wise, they figured it could go to other stuff like action scenes and stuff like that. And then today, when I was trying to prep for the show, apparently there was going to be a like Thor: Love and Thunder reference about Gore, the God Butcher, so Christian Bale's character. There was going to be just like probably like a throwaway line because of the Egyptian gods saying that like someone kills gods, like, but they also cut that out, and that was supposedly cut out due to the fact that like when they were filming, they weren't sure if like Thor: Love and Thunder was still going to come out soon because of like the whole pandemic thing. So yeah, I don't know, just the little things like I guess every chance they've had to kind of try to make like references and Easter eggs, they kind of like stopped them and only made them as long as they were like Moon Knight related, not to anything else. So there's only, I mean, if there's more references, people can call us out on it, but the only reference I caught that kind of alluded to other stuff was when in episode 5 when Tallrat mentions that like when he said like, why am I in an asylum, and she's like, well, this is your interpretation of the afterlife. She says that some people have different interpretations. She mentioned the astral plane, which was in Black Panther, so she does mention how and she mentioned how it's very nice and peaceful, and so I think that was kind of cool, like the one line that we were like, oh well, Black Panther mentioned the astral plane like when they die. So but yeah, that was like the only other thing that I could think of that was kind of alluded to like other MCU things without being MCU. But we'll just see. I do hope they continue the show. Like I did like it. I like the character. I like I said, you don't cast Oscar Isaac, you're not doing anything with him. Because the other thing that kind of sucks is that I guess he cut. So there was another scene in the finale that we were supposed to see Mark and Steven interact with their mother, like after, like before he comes back to like getting the powers. Like I guess they're supposed to have one more like test, and it was them coming to a peace with like the way their mother was. And he said it like he sucked to cut it because he said that it was like Oscar Isaac's best performance, and that he hopes to like that. Like how they've been shooting the like how Hawkeye, they made all the other deleted scenes come out, that he hopes that Disney does the same with this. He said that it was like one of his best performances, but they just cut it for like pacing. So but yeah, man, I don't know, I'm just hoping there's more. Do you guys have anything, like you guys feel the same, or are you kind of like done with the show?
I don't know, I guess I've been different. Like you said, Oscar Isaac, he's a good get for any character in any film or movie. So like I get what you're saying, like you don't want to get an actor like that and just do one season with them. You want to kind of,
especially
like,
if they're wanting
you want to
kind
of
keep going, you know.
Yeah, keep them in the fold and interact them with different characters. I get what you're saying when you do say that. As far as the series overall, like it was like okay. Like I'm thinking like, okay, if I'm telling somebody to watch all the like the Marvel movies, like right now I don't see a point right now to watch it. It's like an origin story where they kind of introduce the character. If they do something more with them, like introduce them into like they have I forget the group he was in the Marvel comics. So yeah, if they do something like that with him, or if he comes out like a cameo in a movie or crossover or something like that, then I can see telling somebody to watch. You have to watch it, or if you want to get a backstory on the character, I guess, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think I like it as much as you did. It's like a 7, I guess, overall. I did like that last episode. I do like
he already gave the rating. All right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's I liked it, I didn't love it kind of thing. So
no, that's fine.
But like I said, that last episode was I liked the fight scenes in it. It kind of brought everything together. Kind of like
So was the
it,
last episode your favorite episode then?
probably.
Okay.
Those fight scenes were really well choreographed. The story wise, it was okay, but fight scenes were really good. Trying to think. Like I said, the whole scene with the psych ward kind of throws me off a little bit. Still confused about that. Godzilla giants fighting, like whatever. So, but yeah, go ahead, Paul. What do you think?
So I guess if we're gonna give the number rating, I'll be right there with you, like a 7. And that's, to me, that was also because the last episode kind of brought it up a little bit more on there.
Dang. So if the episode hadn't hit, what was it gonna be for you guys? Like a 6?
6.5.
Ooh.
Yeah. Like the first 3 episodes, man. Like, I don't know anything about Moon Knight.
So do you remember what you gave WandaVision?
I think I gave it like an 8 or a 9 for WandaVision.
Damn.
Because I thought there was a better plan. Like,
Well,
the way that they...
so we kind of already knew where that was headed, though.
Did we?
Yeah, I already knew. Well, because before the
Did you
pandemic.
read all the spoilers?
Huh?
You read all the spoilers.
No,
You know what's
not
gonna
even.
happen,
No,
where it
not
happens.
even. Not
You
even.
read
No,
all
no,
the
no, 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 no.
spoilers.
This is before. No. So
You
hold
read all
up.
the scripts.
Back
you read like
up.
3 different scripts for
Back
every
up, time
movie. You do-
That was for Spider-Man. I did that because
You
there
are-
was to the point where like they got so many leaks that I was just like, screw it. I'm gonna read all of them now so that I don't know what the hell's gonna happen. So that was my own thing. That's the only movie I've done that for recently. Anyways, for Doctor Strange and Wanda, like when they did that whole press thing before, like we already knew that it like WandaVision was a precursor to Doctor Strange because if the pandemic didn't happen,
go into it or like that.
yeah, they did because the way that it was planned, it was literally like if we had originally gone without like them reordering the stuff, we were supposed to get WandaVision, and then the week after the movie of Doctor Strange was supposed to come out. Like that was how it was supposed to be. Like that was before we did anything. Like they had a press conference of it. We saw the press conference. What do you mean you don't remember? They mentioned that at Comic-Con. That was at Comic-Con.
Well, see, I know that there's a connection to everything.
Yeah.
But I'm not going in like saying, "Oh, I know the layout of this exact thing."
No, but I mean, like, you knew that the events of what was going on were already a setup for something in the future, more or less. Not necessarily Doctor Strange.
Everything. It's like everything with Marvel. It's
But
always a setup. But
to
I
a
don't,
degree.
the way that I'm thinking macro than the whole entire thing. You know?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's fine. I'm just curious. I just want to know because I know WandaVision got a higher rating. It's fine.
I just like how it was laid out in what's it called?
Yeah, WandaVision was different too because it was the. I was just saying because I just remember the only reason I brought up WandaVision was because I know WandaVision had the first 2 episodes the 3 episodes where it was still like the black and white and.
Correct.
Like everybody was, there were people that were like thrown off. They're like, "What the hell is this?" Like it was losing people. So that's the only reason I brought that up because I remember that.
I think we all. I mean, I know I did. I had high expectations for WandaVision just coming off of like Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
So they're coming off like a really great movie. So you're like, okay, cool. They're gonna spin it
it was
off
the first series
shows and stuff like that. So that was like kind of like the first letdown, I guess. And then it started spiraling. Black Widow came out and Shang-Chi and all that. So, and like I said, they weren't bad movies or bad shows. They were just okay though. You know what I mean? It wasn't like that last episode of WandaVision was pretty cool. Like when they brought in Quicksilver towards the end, and then the White Vision, like that. Those are cool characters. You know what I mean? So, all that stuff happening towards the end was cool. But yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah,
I want to talk
do that
about WandaVision after, but yeah, I mean, same thing with Moon Knight. Like I really want these. I really want to like these shows. I really want to like.
So
I want them to be like excellent, but they're like middle of the road. Like it feels like they're just putting out content without like polishing it up. You know what I mean?
So obviously there's a plan. Like Paul mentioned, like Marvel does everything. I was trying to be like a more intelligent word. Like I had a brain fart right now, but they're calculating. There you go with the way they drop this stuff. But So I would say right now the Moon Knight weakness for it. One, I'm gonna say it because I've been called a Marvel shill at work. So be that as it may, sure, whatever. Okay, I like pretty much all their movies. I mean, not all of them are great, but they're good. My precursor to probably liking this more than I should have was the fact that like Batman is my favorite DC character, and the fact that going in, Aaron told me, hey, like Moon Knight is Marvel's Batman, and then as watching it, I was able to see the similarities, so I just kind of like the character more. So there's kind of that attachment. But yeah, the what I think Moon Knight suffers from is it's, as far as I can see, because even like the other ones that are kind of coming up, you can kind of tell where they stemmed from. Moon Knight was like the only one that's kind of been, it's on its own. There's nothing else you can really tie it to. You don't really know where it's going. Like WandaVision, like came from the events of Endgame, so that was already kind of like you kind of already knew what was going on beforehand, more or less. If you didn't know what was going on after, I mean, now you kind of know where it paid off. Falcon and Winter Soldier, same thing. We know that's leading to Captain America 4. Loki seems to be setting up like the bigger picture of everything for Phase 4, but then Moon Knight, you're like question mark. But then Miss Marvel, that's going to happen next month. You already know where she's ending up. She's ending up in the Marvels movie that's coming out. So, like, you kind of already know where her impact is. And her show hasn't come out yet. And then She-Hulk, same thing. Like, you know, okay, she's the cousin of an Avenger. So her setup is going to be, like, she's going to play a bigger picture. Something automatically has to do with the Avengers. Echo, that just came off of Hawkeye, so she's gonna have to do something with that world. So you kind of already see it, their future ones coming out. Whereas Moon Knight, like, besides people that knew the comic, like, didn't really know what to expect from this show. So it was kind of a breath of fresh air in that regard. But then at the end point, like how you two are kind of saying, like, it's it was like like because of the narrative, the way that they told it. Like at the end of the day, like me too. Like liking it at the same level, like nobody knows where the hell it's really gonna go besides obviously Kevin Feige, who has not told anybody yet. So it's like I think that's kind of where it suffers. How like Tommy did say, like, so for somebody who is asking, hey, do I need to watch Moon Knight right now, the answer straight up is no. Like my mom hasn't seen it yet. She wants to. She only saw like the first episodes, but this past weekend, because she's still recovering from surgery, so she's still at home and she's been watching shows. She's like, "Do I watch Moon Knight?" I'm like, "You can if you want to, but it's not going to be in Doctor Strange." So because it wasn't, she decided she's going to wait. So that's like I guess where it's kind of fallen is like you don't really know where it's going, and I guess that's kind of the faulting too. Like how Tommy did mention, like it kind of just seems like they're kind of making stuff without polishing it. I guess that's kind of where. I guess it was more of a director's choice, and that's fine because he wanted it to stand on its own. And I just think that depending on where you lie with the Marvel stuff, like that's going to be like, oh, that's cool, like it's doing its own thing. But then at the same time, it's like for people who like this universe and want to know where everything's in the bigger picture, like it's just going to leave people confused. Like, well, is Moon Knight worth it? So that's just like my 2 cents on it. I still really like it though, but since you guys gave your rating, my rating is just gonna make me seem like a Marvel shill. I was gonna say it's like an 8.8 for me, like borderline 9.
And I could see that. That last episode was good. The early episodes were pretty good too. Like and where they're introducing the character and like that. Different personalities. And stuff,
my favorite episode was actually episode 5, considering that was like the most depressing one, but. I don't know. I was just as a guy who suffered from depression, like I saw that shit and I was like, oh wow, like I guess I saw myself more in the character than I should have. So that just like resonated with me, and I was like kind of really not that like my mom is anything like that or like my immediate like parents, but just like the way that he felt and like that stuff. I was like, oh, I can relate to that. So like I don't know. So I guess on another level I connected with it. So that's probably why I have a higher rating than I should. So
no, I mean every episode, every show hits everybody differently, so I could see that. Yeah, just I mean it wasn't like I said. I just feel like I feel like maybe I don't want to say a rush, but they're trying to have this other platform, Disney Plus, so they could like put all their I don't want to say like they're backup characters on, but they're introducing more characters on that.
Well, I mean, I think hopefully the original way that it was interpreted was like these like C and D characters are these shows are supposed to be like the intro for them, so that when they pop up in a movie, you can be like, oh, well, who the hell is this character? Oh, well, we made a show about them. Go watch the show. So like,
Yeah.
maybe that's what'll happen with Moon Knight, because I keep stressing. I sound like a broken record, but I just don't understand why you'd cast Oscar Isaac and then just be like, we're done. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, no, I get you. I don't think they wouldn't make a season 2 just because of that stupid thing where they're trying to win that award. So I don't think that would be the determining I hope that wouldn't be the determining factor in why if they'll make a season 2 or not. But yeah, so like I said, I feel like they have this platform, they want to get content out, but I just feel they're not like polishing it up. I don't know what talent they have like doing the writing and the directing on it that compared to some of the movies they have. Like if we're gonna get into it later, like I feel Sam Raimi directing Doctor Strange 2, I feel he brought the best out of that character.
Mm-hmm.
So and the best he could out of that movie. So I think maybe what's missing is the talent behind the camera. That's why they're not getting out this like better products, better polished like shows and movies and stuff.
Yeah. Well,
So-
we'll cover that in a second. So
Yeah.
just really fast to wrap on it. So I gave it an 8.8. Paul, you said it was a 7. And
Yep.
Tommy said it was a 7.
7,
So-
sorry.
No, that's
Sorry.
fine. No, that's fine. Hey, to
Sorry.
each their own. I'm
I
not gonna.
apologize.
I just
I
want to know.
apologize,
So as far as if you guys can remember, so for me, Loki is still my favorite Marvel show. This is a close second. So it was Loki. I gave it a 9, and then this was an 8.8, and then I guess it would be WandaVision, and then Falcon and Winter Soldier. But WandaVision was an 8 for me, and Falcon and Winter Soldier was a 7.5. So they're not too far apart from each other. But yeah. All right.
I still like Falcon and Winter Soldier the best just because of that scene with Captain America holding that bloody shield. That still
That
stands
one?
out.
Oh, I
to
thought you were
me
gonna say
most
that
of
when
anything.
they broke his arm. When they broke
That too,
Agent
the
Shield's
fight scene,
That was
the
pretty
fight
sick.
scene right after.
That shit was
Yeah, that
real.
was kind of brutal. So.
All right. So, I'm going to disclaim it again. So, if you still haven't seen Doctor Strange, but you want to hear what we said about Moon Knight, we're now going to talk about Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, which was a kick-ass movie. But it's going to be spoiler heavy because we're going to talk about the end credits and then where, based off what has happened in the movie and certain stuff I've read on actors' contracts, where they're going to possibly go with it. And then we'll talk the whole Phase 4 thing that Tommy's been slowly trying to unfold. So I'll just get to the box office numbers for Doctor Strange. So domestically, it's $232,641,920. Internationally, it is $445,076,475 for, and then the worldwide total would make it $677,718,395. So right now it is the 10th highest grossing opening weekend in history for films. So as far as like Marvel movies go, I have to go back and look where they would fall, but I want to say it's like 5th or 6th for Marvel. So top one is still Endgame. I think it goes Endgame, Spider-Man, and I think Spider-Man beat Infinity War, or Infinity War and Spider-Man might be flipped. I have to double check that, but it's pretty good for the sequels. Like it's automatically higher sequel like compared to other sequels box office wise. Right off the bat, went in a different direction than I thought the trailers were going. Movie marketing wise made it seem like this was a direct relation with Spider-Man No Way Home. It's kind of like him being punished for his meddling messed with what was going on in this movie. But that was not the case. So the plot of the movie is basically, it opens up with another universe, Doctor Strange, protecting a new character named America Chavez. They are fighting a demon character, as they say. The demon character is trying to kidnap America Chavez for her powers. So the other Doctor Strange is trying to fight the demon, and then there's this whole real thing where he tries to steal her powers because she can't control them, which is what you find out. So he wants to use her powers like for the greater good, saying what was said in No Way Home, which is like her sacrifice is necessary in the whole like multiverse, like it's important. And then like lo and behold, the demon kills her. Fast forward, it's like a dream sequence. I'm not gonna go beat for the movie because it's long.
I was gonna say,
yeah, but
just go watch the movie.
Yeah, just go watch it. But basically, the big reveal of it, which is like was it 30 minutes in, 45 minutes in? You find out that Wanda is actually the one who is trying to get America Chavez for her powers, because America Chavez can travel the multiverse. And if you remember in WandaVision, when she had her kids, Billy and Tommy, at the end of that end credit scene, she's reading the Darkhold and you hear her kids in the distance. This is a correlation, is that the whole time she's been using the Darkhold to try to basically exist in a multiverse where they're real, and where she's their mom. And so what she wants to use America Chavez's powers for is to get her out of the universe, which has now been established as 616. She wants to get out of the 616 universe and go into another universe. I don't know if it was supposed to be 838, but she just wants to go where they exist. And the reason that her justification for killing America Chavez is that because of her powers being multiverse, like if her kids get sick or whatever, that she can go to any universe where they'd have a cure for it. So like she basically, every universe would have an answer for what's going on. So that was her justification for keeping that power and killing her, is that was to protect her kids in the long run. So yeah, the movie was just like holy like shit. That was like the main plot, like Doctor Strange just trying to save America Chavez. Trying to think what other spoilers. That's probably much to stop with the spoilers, but there's a bunch of cameo rumors that did not happen. So I guess I'll just drop those and talk about the real cool one that did happen. So because it was Sam Raimi, everyone's like, oh, Tobey Maguire's in this movie. Wrong. He was not in this movie. There was for the trailer, like up until like the last one when they showed it's Captain Marvel, everyone thought Tom Cruise was in this, the superior Iron Man. That was not. That was automatic no. Just because of the fact that it was multiverse, and before they'll confirm Professor X, everyone thought that Fox Universe was going to be in here anyway. So you had Hugh Jackman rumors as Wolverine because he supposedly has talked to Kevin Feige. You had Deadpool rumors, and then when Ryan Reynolds said no, I'm not in this movie because of the whole Andrew Garfield thing, nobody believed him. So those are what I know. There might be some other ones that happened, but those were like the ones that I saw. Everyone's like, this is gonna happen. It didn't happen. So the cameo that we got that was pretty fucking cool was John Krasinski as. Well, I was gonna get there, but I was gonna say,
okay.
Calm down.
That's what you're gonna talk about.
Yeah. So it was John Krasinski was Reed Richards for Fantastic Four for their version of Illuminati in the 838 universe. You can hold it up again, Paul. Go ahead, go hold it up. So we got to see live action Captain Carter, Haley Atwell, which was pretty sick. You got to see comic version accurate Black Bolt, played by the same actor as the ABC show. And then you got the other cameo, which was like super dope, and I like cheered in the theater. Was Professor Xavier, which was still played by Patrick Stewart, but he was in the hover chair from the cartoon, and it played the fucking cartoon music. It was fucking sick.
Yeah.
Yes, I was the geek that clapped and cheered in the theater. This is where I guess the Twitter versions of everything split. This is where the movie kind of split for people. And then, I didn't tell you, Paul, when we saw. So I'll go on that right now. So, Scarlet Witch, spoiler, kills them all. Like she kills all the Illuminati in like fucking 5 minutes. she pops Reed Richards' head, which was still a dope ending. I think Black Bolt got the worst one. So basically, for those who don't know Black Bolt's power, Black Bolt doesn't talk because he basically can destroy people with his voice. It's so powerful. So Reed Richards tells him that in an attempt to like scare Wanda is like Black Bolt can kill you with a whisper from his mouth. The next scene, she says, "What mouth?" And they go to Black Bolt. His mouth is like gone, and then like she basically turned it so that when he talks, like he blows his own brain out, which was diabolical and fucking gory for a PG-13 movie. And so she cuts Captain Carter in half with the shield. Sorry, Paul.
It's all good.
And then Captain Marvel, she basically, from what I seem like, I know people were pissed, like, oh, she's supposed to be super powerful and she died by a statue. I think she basically like siphoned her powers, and that's why she couldn't do anything. That's the way I took it. And then Professor X got pretty fucked up, so he went in her mind like he normally does, tried to get because I jumped ahead. She possessed the 838 version, and that's why she was in that world. And so he's trying to get that version out, and then she just snuck up behind him and cracked his neck, like reminding me of Paranormal Activity. If you ever all seen that movie and the ghost kills the dad, it was the exact same way. She just cracked the neck. But yeah, that was like the holy shit part of the movie. One of the holy shit parts of the movie. The kind of jumped the gun here, but yeah, the movie basically ends with like Wanda realizes what she's fucking doing due to something that happens. You have to watch movies for that to happen, but the question mark is, it seems that she kind of sacrifices herself, and then now Doctor Strange used the Darkhold, and then like got a third eye, and then like the movie ended. But the end credit scene for this movie was played by Charlize Theron. She's been confirmed to be Clea Strange. Well, right now in MCU it's just Clea. If you got on Twitter today, being the 10th, she got the green light to say everything. So on her Twitter account, she's all happy that she's playing Clea, and she's telling everybody about it. The what was I gonna say? The other end credit scene I thought was genius. Some people hated it, but it was Bruce Campbell, so he made a cameo because of the Sam Raimi movie. He was Pizza Papa. So earlier in the film, he interacts with Doctor Strange when he goes to that world with America Chavez, because she makes a joke about how like only in her universe and in Doctor Strange's universe they have to pay for food, and that food is free in other universes. And then Bruce Campbell tells her, hey, you need to pay for that. So I guess it's not free. So then like when he tries to like confront her about it, and then like accuses Doctor Strange of stealing like the Doctor Strange stuff from the museum, Doctor Strange casts a spell where like he ends up beating himself up for 3 weeks. So the end of the end credit scene is like it finally stops. So like when he looks at the camera, like he's like, it's over, and then that's like, you know, like genius, like, oh yeah, there's nothing else. But some people didn't like that. Let's see what else. But yeah, that was it. Like, the movie was good. There was like I said, it was just holy shit. But I'll let Paul and Tommy talk because I've talked too much. So Paul, what did you think overall of Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness?
For this one, I said this is a movie that I wish was a series rather than a movie. I felt like there was a lot of things that you could have done a lot longer than just 2 hours. And I think that as far as it goes, with Loki's ending, with them showing how big the multiverse, like how it's getting fractured, and how big it actually could change the Marvel landscape, it didn't do that with this movie. It just stayed within like two different multiverses, really, and it didn't do much from it. That was like one of the big things for me that I kind of didn't like. I wish they did more with it because I know it's named Multiverse of Madness. I kind of wanted to see. I kind of wanted to see that. I want to see what effects that the Disney Plus shows made to lead up to this more than anything. Um, Other things that I liked. I kind of like the Sam Raimi influence on the how it looked like the camera angles, the zooming in of certain shots,
The jump
the
scares.
horror aspects. Yeah, you could definitely tell that he was directing it pretty much on there. Um, there was that one scene that I really liked a lot where Wanda was taking over. No, Scarlet Witch was taking over Wanda from the other universe, and she, what's it called? She had both of her kids with her, and then they stabbed the Darkhold, and then it was
so
going back and forth.
before she dreamwalks. Yeah.
Yeah, it was going back and forth with and without the kids and everything, and the camera was tilted, so it just looked totally different from what you would normally see in a Marvel movie. And I thought they did that really well because the duality of both of them, Scarlet Witch and Wanda and stuff. I thought that was really good on that part. The other thing that I wrote down on here was I love Captain Carter. I liked the cameo on there, but the execution of the surprise is something that I didn't like from the movie and from what they did in terms of like the marketing on there. I didn't like how they did Professor X's voice in the trailer because that should have been such a big shock to everybody to see him. Captain Carter, that would have been if I didn't see her at the premiere, I would have been just like, oh my gosh, it's Captain Carter. But she was invited to the premiere, and so was what's his name? Professor X. He was he was at the premiere. So it's just like, dude, what are you guys doing? You guys are marketing it, showing these characters on a movie that
I don't think they're gonna sneak everybody in like Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire.
Do it, man. It's like it could have been better.
Yeah,
like the whole shock of the Illuminati could have been better. Because what's his name? Krasinski was there too. It was
but they played their angle was somewhat believable with the Emily Blunt thing in Disney. She had just done Jungle Cruise, and so it's like, oh yeah, you have good press, so we're just gonna invite you to every premiere coming out. It made sense. Or it also could have been like they were just trying to wine and dine for a role. Like it doesn't necessarily like. The thing is, these cameos were always because I think he was actually a rumor already too. So, yeah, man, like I don't know.
Other than that, I thought it was good. Like it was very different from a lot of the Marvel stuff, but I wish there was more to it.
So this is one that you wish was longer.
Yes, I definitely do.
Okay.
I've been saying that for a lot of movies so far, like lately, because we have the format to do more character development and develop the story better with the thing. But I think more than that, I agree with you that I honestly you're probably right with the whole multiverse of madness that you could do for every episode you could do a different universe or a different set piece or whatever, you know what I mean? So I do agree with you on that. I didn't even think about it till you brought it up with the whole in the trailers we've seen Captain Carter's shield, one of the episodes, one of the commercials, and then we heard
I didn't see it because I didn't watch TV spots.
Huh?
I didn't see that commercial because I didn't watch TV spots.
Oh,
I only watched in my defense. I only watched the first official trailer, and I didn't even watch the final one.
That's their fault. That's their fault for putting them in the commercials like that, though, because that would have been like the biggest surprise for me was John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, because I didn't see the who was at the premiere. I didn't see that, so that was
I stayed away from all that.
Yeah, I didn't see that. Paul seen that, so that's why it kind of killed his surprise. But yeah, they did put.
When we saw, like, I want to say, wasn't he like the loudest part that people cheered? Because I know the second part would have been
Yeah.
Professor
Well, for
X,
me,
but I know
I was excited. That's I was more excited for John Krasinski. That's the one I didn't see in any of the trailers or premieres or anything like that. But they did ruin the Xavier one, and they did ruin Captain Carter. She was more like.
But I don't know. I mean, if you had have seen What If though, like at the end of it, at the finale, I think that's the same one from the cartoon. I think that's where she got transported at the end. If What If is going to be official now, like the place that she transported, I think that's where she got transported.
Maybe.
So she's not even from that universe either.
She had a weird attitude though. She was playing. She was really like rambunctious, like ready to like Captain America, like the Steve Rogers version. He's more subdued. She was ready to throw down right away. You know what I mean? That's just her attitude. Like right when she sat down.
I think there's a reasoning for that, but we'll get into that later.
So,
but just
so.
What was your overall?
I mean, I liked it. It was different. Like it was the best of the bunch as far as with the after Endgame. I mean, I still like Far From Home the best, but as far as everything out, like after the pandemic, I guess, or not. I don't say after the pandemic. We're kind of still in it, but with
it's an
No Way
endemic
Home,
now is what you can call it.
Yeah. So, it's the best of the bunch of the latest bunch of movies and shows and stuff like that. Yeah. So that's about it, I guess. I enjoyed it. I want to see what's going forward with the Charlize Theron character.
Yeah.
Clea, I think her name is.
Well, I guess we'll have to wait to find out what the insurgent is that they went to go fight. So
I think they keep on referencing Secret Wars. That's gonna be the next big thing with Marvel.
I think that too.
They're kind of going in that direction, it seems. So, and I guess after that they'll kind of readjust the whole multiverse and all that stuff.
Contracts and stuff.
That's
So, overall, like I know I kind of like gave like a rushed version of the movie, but at the same time it's 2 hours. So, just to kind of piggyback on everybody, like I liked it. I guess we'll give the ratings and then kind of defend. There's certain things that I just saw that people kind of nitpicked. Like when we went to see the first one, the first time when Tommy, like we came out and some random dude was like complaining, like, "Oh, that movie was ass. That movie was dog shit." And then like asked my brothers, like he saw my brother's shirt and I was like, "Did you like the movie?" And my brother was like, "Yeah, the movie was dog shit." And then like the reason, like I don't care he didn't like it. I just like it seemed like it was just to hate because like his little group of circle was complaining about the whole Illuminati scene. They're like, "Why would you introduce them just to kill them off in 5 minutes?" And I'm like, well, I mean, like, I don't want to sound like a movie snob, but it's part of the narrative to show how powerful she is and that she's not the fucking Wanda that we know. So, like, I've seen the complaint of everybody saying that, like, oh, for Reed Richards being, like, the smartest person, why the fuck would he tell her the powers of Black Bolt and everything? So I kind of have, like, a whole, like, I guess my version of why it was written that way, and I think it works. And if you don't like it, cool. I'm just giving you my opinion on it and why I like that. I thought that scene worked. So the Illuminati, like in the comics, is like, you know, like how Captain Carter had said that they were formed to make difficult decisions for that universe. Like they kind of like they're the Illuminati. They control what's going on. So in that universe, they killed that version of Doctor Strange for using Darkhold and like he abused power. So they saw this Doctor Strange as a threat. That's just the whole reason why he was being captive. And he warned them about Wanda, but in their universe, that particular Wanda isn't on the same level, so she never got the Darkhold. So they actually have not seen how powerful she is. So I think they obviously that's their fault. They were like they underestimated how powerful she was and what she was capable of. So when he mentions, "Hey, Black Bolt can do this," I don't think it was to like show off like she's smart. One, in the comics, Reed Richards is like a nerd and tells everybody what's going on anyway. And two, I think he was just trying to scare her, like trying to say like, you don't want to do this, like look, like we're the Illuminati, we're because of what the status they were in that universe, and they were just, I think, trying to scare her off to not do anything. But I mean, I still think out of all of them though, Reed Richards got like the most like fuck you moment, because like when she asked him, when he's like, oh, he goes, I understand your pain, I'm a father, I have kids, and then she asked the line about the mother. She goes, is their mother still alive? And he goes, yes. And he goes, oh, cool, at least someone will be alive to raise them. I was like, holy shit, like she just straight up like without remorse. And so I think it was just for me, like the strengths of the movie, with like, I know I jumped on and gave the plot, but I thought they did a really good job of showing how corrupted the Darkhold made Wanda, and how they kind of drove it home that like anybody who uses that book, like it leaves it, like how one of the Doctor Strange just says like it leaves a heavy toll, like it fucks with you. So like she's been using that since the end of the finale, and they don't kind of really specify how long it's been, but it's obviously after Spider-Man, so she's been for that thing for a while. Because when they do the reveal, like you guys remember the finale, like when they show Doctor Strange get to that orchard and everything like that, like it was pretty green when she got there, and then as soon as she does the reveal of like, oh, she's been reading the Darkhold, that whole place is freaking decimated and evil and corrupt. So she's been using that thing for a long time. So yeah, that's just one thing that I kind of get, because a lot of people kind of, I guess, were saying that the movie can't stand on its own, is that like her motives are weird, but if you saw WandaVision, I don't think they are. I think it's like her natural thing. Like she says it throughout the movie. She's like, if you could go through to another universe where you're happy, wouldn't you want to be happy? Like they keep at like the line keeps mentioned throughout the movie is like, Doctor Strange, are you happy? And it's like just different versions of yourself. Like if you're in pain in this particular version of yourself, wouldn't you want to go to where you're not? Like it's like it makes perfect sense. And I mean, watching it second time, I guess the ending could have been executed a little better, to see, because it does kind of seem like she just kind of has like a change of heart. But I mean, it was kind of also the most subtle way without, I guess, being too cheesy, like having the kids in the other universe realize that she was like a monster, and that she was trying to, like, yeah, she's their mom and she was trying to like protect them, but unfortunately she's not their mom, because their mom was already a Wanda in that world, and she realized, oh shit, like I'm taking them away from you. So it's like, I thought that was really cool. Yeah, it was just, I think that's the movie on its own, like everything that was building, I don't think it could have gone another way without like being confusing, if that makes sense. But and then the one last thing I want to say is, like, I know it's like kind of an overreach and a stretch and like out of my lane, but I'm just gonna say it, like the whole scene that Saudi Arabia's pissed off about, there's really nothing to it. Like I don't understand why it's banned. Like the whole scene with America Chavez's mom's, like there's nothing sexual, nothing that really implies that they're lesbians. Just the fact that she says my mom's. I mean, you could shape it anyway and say, I don't know, man. Well, no, I'm just saying, like, you could shape this called co-parenting. There's other stuff, like, you don't necessarily have to go that route. It doesn't have to be sexual. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, when that scene happened, I was like, what? That's the scene, like, they're pissed off about? Like, whatever.
But it is a different culture out there.
I'm aware of that, but I just...
It's a theocracy, so they have a national religion. That's the whole thing. I'm not justifying it by any...
No, I know. I'm just saying. I just find it funny that, like, for this, like, a whole nother topic of, like, Star Wars related, just like Disney, which is the parent company of Lucasfilm, catered to overseas stuff and took out an actual kiss in Star Wars. Whereas, like, I guess kind of kudos to them. I don't know if it was more Marvel than Disney, but this time they said, no, we're not changing it, so...
Did they do that for China? They did that for China?
Yeah, they did that for China. I think for some other countries too. Like the scene at the end of Resistance, they took it out.
They make more money in China compared to Saudi Arabia, so that's why they did it for China and not
that's
Saudi Arabia.
Like I said, that's a whole nother.
But, I mean,
that's a whole nother.
But I agree with you. I agree with you on that though too. Is that it was nothing of significance to get all worked up over.
It's not gonna stop it. It's still gonna happen, whether or not those people see the movie or not. Like it's.
No, I know.
But
the only thing I want to add to it is I'm kind of disappointed in myself that I didn't. Because I remember they were speculating that Wanda was gonna be either the big bad in this movie or the big bad going forward for the Phase 4. And I didn't put two and two together, and like with her reading the Darkhold, and that she would go as far as she did in this movie. You know what I mean? That's why I'm kind of like mad at myself for not predicting that and saying like, oh, she got the Darkhold in WandaVision, so now she's turning evil for whatever role she's in.
I think
next,
that might also be like kudos to like the writing and the way they've interpreted her character. Is like, I think, at least for me, I know for my sister, because that's my sister's favorite Marvel character. Like, my sister was like, at the end of the movie, I'm like, did you like it? She's like, yeah, but I was mad because like she was doing evil things, but she's my favorite character, and I still wanted to like her, and like I could see why she wanted to do it. And I'm like, no, but that's the whole point. Like, you could see her justification for it, and I think that it's just like, it was one of those things. Like, I didn't think I would see her popping people's heads off in this movie, so it's like it was like too much of an extreme, I guess, for me. Anyway, I was like, oh yeah, no, she's not gonna do that, but. That book, man. I
think it wasn't so much the book. It was her.
Well, like, she was blinded by like she didn't realize what she was doing. She just wanted to get to her son
at any cost. You know
and that's that's where it's like I asked my mom, and she said she liked the lines like when the like she like her justification for like being a mother, like when she said, oh, like your kids aren't real, they're made by magic, and then she. Well, so are every other kids. Like, basically, like, justifying, like, yeah, what you're saying, all the stuff you're saying is, like, I can turn it around, like, I'm a mom, like, you know, so.
I am starting to think, too, like, in that other multiverse that the kids existed did want to create them, like,
well, so that's the thing. So I kind of went down that rabbit hole, so, like, I guess we can just talk about like Phase 4. Oh, but before we do that, let me give my rating. So I thought the movie was 9. I don't know what you guys would give it.
Paul,
I will say I'll give it a 7.5 or somewhere in that area.
Okay.
I'm like 8.5. I liked it. I was gonna say too. You were like said something about Wolverine. I'm glad Wolverine didn't make a cameo in this, because I really want them to recast Wolverine and get somebody shorter and hairier and uglier. Maybe more shorter and hairier.
What? Well,
Hugh Jackman's too tall.
Going forward, it would have to be somebody young to. They want this shit to go on for the next 10 years, so you need someone that can be around for that long and still look the same. Because CGI can only go so far. So, yeah, going forward, like, as far as the repercussions of what this movie does, if they're going to continue that 838 universe, the Illuminati's, like, been killed off, but I don't think they have a vision in that one, because I think it was kind of implied that since Reed Richards was considered the smartest person in that universe, that I think he built the Ultrons. So I don't think they ever, because I guess I heard read where someone made like it was on Twitter, like I just read a comment, I'm like, oh, that's a really, really good point. And the tweet said that in this version it was more justification, kind of like my reasoning as to why like Reed Richards did what he did, and everyone's like, oh, I'm like, you have to understand, like, their Wanda never read the Darkhold. Their Wanda never took over Westview. He's like, I don't even think their Wanda ever met a Vision, because there was no Vision. So Ultron, like, she's only as powerful as like the Ultron version. Like, she's never gone any farther. So that stuff didn't happen in that universe. So they interacted with Thanos, which I thought was cool, because the second time around I caught his body. Did you catch it the first time?
On the right side?
On the right side of, like, when it shows them, and when the Illuminati is talking to Doctor Strange, like, you just see Thanos with his sword sticking in on Titan. Did you catch that, Tommy? Or did you
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't see it the first time. I saw it the second time. I was like, holy shit, it's Thanos' body.
I seen Thanos' body with his sword, like, impaling him.
Yeah, I missed that the first time. I don't know why I missed that.
Oh, okay. I seen that.
But, like, that's already happened. So that universe, as far as like superheroes go, don't really know who they would have, and if they're gonna bring them back into the phase, like, I guess it would be, you'd have like whoever they would want revenge, but at the same time, like, if based off of this movie, like Wanda's kind of already gone from this universe. So I don't know if they would do like Sue Storm would want to kill her, or any of the other X-Men, because the Professor X is there. Then the X-Men, in theory, should be there. But yeah, as far as like I guess where they can go, because contract wise, so I did read, Elizabeth Olsen did sign an extension during the movie, and she kind of specified how that works, saying that they will sign her and as an extension going forward, and then she'll kind of know what's going on. So she said this time around she doesn't know where the character is going to go, but she did sign an extension. So it's not the last we're going to see of Wanda, obviously. Just don't know if it's going to be in another multiverse or... because she did mention that, like, now that they've introduced the mutants, that she's hoping that she gets to be classified as an X-Men, because she is one in the comics. And she said she wants to, like, she made a reference to Ian McKellen, that she said she wants to meet her true father, which would be Magneto. So, I wonder if they'd end up going that route still, and like somehow say that like Magneto gave them up for adoption or something like that, or like that the parents that we saw in WandaVision aren't her real parents, like for this universe, or if they're gonna twist it. Because I guess the 838 universe, going back to really fast, it seemed more comic book accurate than this one was, if that makes sense. Like it seems they were more like what we read on the comics was what was that universe. Like with Fantastic Four, like his actual costume was a Fantastic Four, Black Bolt being the actual Inhuman stuff. So, but as far as Phase 4 goes forward, like I guess Tommy kind of mentioned it. I feel they're going the same way with the introduction of Multiverse. I think their next Infinity War thing is going to be Secret Wars. So, because there's another thing coming out. It's not the same thing. So it's Secret Invasion is a Disney Plus series that right now is with the Skrulls, and that's the one that Emilia Clarke is going to be in. That's not Secret Wars. That's like it's a different thing. So like I think the movie itself will be Secret Wars. I just don't know what phase that would end up being, if it would be like Infinity War and Endgame, which if they're going to do like another Phase 4, Phase 5, Phase 6, and then boom, Secret Wars. Because really fast, and I'll let you guys say stuff. Phase 4 is technically 2021 to 2023, and it has really fast 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 movies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 TV shows. Well, that's just actually, I will take away. 2 movies are possibly Phase 5, not necessarily Phase 4. And I'm going to say 3 TV shows might be Phase 5, not necessarily Phase 4, but they're announced. So, really fast, the movies are Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Spider-Man, No Way Home, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, Thor, Love and Thunder, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, Guardians Volume 3, The Marvels, and then the 2 that I put, because they're already announced, but the 2 that I meant that might be Phase 5 is Fantastic Four and Blade, because they never, like I remember at Comic-Con, like he mentioned Blade, but he didn't say if it was in Phase 4, and he has still to this day hasn't confirmed if it is or isn't. And then the TV shows are WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, What If, Hawkeye, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, I Am Groot, Secret Invasion, Ironheart, Armor Wars, Echo, Agatha Harkness, Spider-Man, Freshman Year, which is a cartoon, and Marvel Zombies, and then the holiday special for Guardians is considered Phase 4. So the ones that might be Phase 5 still, possibly Ironheart, Secret Invasion, and then Marvel Zombies. I don't know if that's actually like a spin-off of What If or whatever. They haven't confirmed, but that's a lot of content. So compared to the other phases, like essentially this is as much content as all 3 phases combined. So like that's why I guess the word superhero fatigue is being used lately, is a lot of people say there's a lot of stuff. So for Phase 4, like I know me and Tommy mentioned Secret Wars. Like, is that where you can also see it going, Paul? Like, if you have knowledge of that, or is there something else that you thinking it might lead to?
For me, the ending of this movie was like one of the first times where I just don't know where they're going. Well, I was kind of quiet in the theater because I just don't know what they're gonna be. Besides, like, cards for what they're announcing, I guess it's gonna head there, but there's like no. I feel like there's no direction exactly because so far it hasn't been what I was thinking it was gonna go to. Like, I was thinking more of a multiverse, but it really wasn't. So yeah, I guess that they are gonna be going to Secret Wars. I thought WandaVision's ending was a better indication of where they're heading with Secret Wars.
I would say Loki would be too.
What's up?
I would say Loki also.
Yeah.
Tommy, you want to say before I go on my little rant?
I was gonna say that what Paul said about the multiverse. The Secret Wars is directly like involved with the whole multiverse. Like Secret War, I think it from what you probably have more information on than I do, Paul. I mean Eddie is they get characters from different universes and then they fight it out, I guess, in Battle World or whatever. From what I heard.
Yeah, and then whatever universe prevails is the one that gets to remain.
Yeah. So.
Because if I don't know if they do it in the movie, because I know in the comic Thanos comes, but he fights like with the heroes.
I still think the big bad for the Phase 4 is going to be Kang. Yeah, that's about it. Like I'm kind of like I said, you mentioned superhero fatigue. I'm not fatigued. I just want good content. I could care less if I look forward to these movies and the shows, but when I do sit down and watch them or invest my time into watching them, I want them to be good quality, like high quality stuff. You know what I mean? So I could care less.
No, I totally understand.
So that's the thing.
I will say this. I was just gonna. Well, I'm pretty patient at this, just because if they're kind of following the outline of, I guess, Phase 1 through 3, it's just the intro. So
yeah, that's what I was gonna just say right now. I was gonna say, like, if this is, to me, the way I'm seeing it, I don't know if they're gonna do 5 and 6, but to me, I still feel that Doctor Strange was the Avengers movie. Still, that there was nothing else coming up that would like give me that indication. But like, I felt like this was. So I guess going forward for the rest of Phase 4 to me would be like Phase 4.5. Like, I felt like Doctor Strange is kind of like a staple, like how the Avengers movie is. I think Doctor Strange is just like an important mark in like the MCU, like light-wise, because now it's going to set up, I think, like more arcs, because you can kind of do that with Civil War is like a big event that's not necessarily an Avengers movie, and then the Avengers movies, like, you can spend out like different phases, like the phases out of them. So as far as where this, like, the characters and stuff will go, like, I'm pretty sure, like, if as far as Wanda and stuff, I don't think we'll see her coming up in anything again until like the next phase. And for those who like kind of familiar with the comic, and I know it's funny because I'm gonna bring it up because it's like the big issue for WandaVision. They feel like there's two ways you could go with her now, or maybe actually three. Is since she quote unquote died and sacrificed herself, she could be stuck in hell, and then that's where you get the Mephisto plot line. And I know that was like the talking point of WandaVision, but as far as in the comics, Mephisto is a big part of how her kids come out and actually live. Like in the comics, I believe their souls, they possess like normal people, and then they take over like they get their mutant powers out of, like, they become a physical body that way. So I think she could still do that, where it's like she's trapped in hell, she makes a deal with Mephisto lets her live, and then she gets her kids, but the price is like what was in the comics, I believe, something happened where like the kids were in debt to him or something like that. I don't remember per se, but I know that he had to do with that. So that's one way to say where she's back and bring her back. The other way, it can still happen, but I, until today, figured out that Agatha is not a sequel. Agatha is a prequel. So I thought that Agatha Harkness, the reason she was getting a show was because of the end of this movie. Like when I saw Wanda die, I'm like, oh, that's how Agatha gets freed. So I thought like, because if you remember in WandaVision, she cast a spell to keep her in Westview. I thought that since Agatha died, just based off every other media form of any movie where it has spells or anything like that, when the said person or the magical item of the thing is destroyed that casted the spell, usually the spell is broken. So I figured, oh, okay, she's dead now, so the spell's gonna be broken. That's how Agatha got free, and I thought maybe Agatha would bring her back. I guess because it still hasn't been announced when that'll happen. Like I guess if just to do a reminder for Wanda, because Elizabeth Olsen has confirmed that as of now she's not going to be in Agatha, that they haven't told her that's what we're bringing you back for, so she doesn't think she's going to be back in flashbacks. So I would say like I guess a cool thing at the end of Agatha after it's showing the prequel is like the end credit scene for that episode could actually show her getting out of the spell, and then like her wanting to like extract revenge on Wanda, bring her back and make her suffer. Like that would seem something that Agatha would do from what we saw. And then, like, yeah, the other easy cop-out, lazy writing version is just bring her back from another multiverse. And that's how you would bring Wanda back. But I'm going to address the elephant in the room. I want John Krasinski to still be Reed Richards for this universe. I know that there's... it can still be recast, but because of the Spider-Man variant version, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield were obviously variants of Peter Parker, and they look different. And of course, that was just to bring those different universes together for as part as the actor thing. But Spider-Man, on the flip side, also did show that you could have different versions of like the villains and stuff like that exist in this universe. Like obviously, the Venom is different, but the symbiote is the same. So I don't know. I feel like I know it was kind of on the nose because I read on Twitter some people did not like that it was John Krasinski because everyone's like, oh man, that's just like the fans casted that one. Like Marvel didn't really do that one. I just kind of feel like, I mean, they could now because I guess Marvel does like trolling people too. Like they've kind of admitted that they sometimes like doing that. So I guess as a troll, they could be like, we already made him and he died. But I still feel like that would be cool to at least see him in this universe. That's what I want. But anything else you want to say about like Phase 4? Where you see it going future-wise?
As far as the John Krasinski, Jim, what's it called? I don't know. I'm indifferent. Like, if they want to cast him, I'm cool with that. If they want to go in a different direction, like I said, as long as it's somebody good. The other guy that they got before, he wasn't good. So
I mean, he could still like if they go Secret Wars too, he could still stick around. That was another one that was, I guess, that I saw that was supposed to happen was him and Jessica Alba. So apparently, because supposedly, like I remember them saying, that Jessica Alba is in talks with Marvel again to reprise her role as Sue Storm. So
I don't think I would want that.
That's all. It was all rumors, though. But
yeah, the John.
I'm not gonna lie to you. The teen version of me wants Jessica Alba because I had a mean crush on her.
But I'm indifferent with John Krasinski. I don't know. Do you feel any different, Paul? Are you cool with him, or would you want somebody different, or do you have a suggestion for Mr. Fantastic?
Fine for it, and I think that's what made the moment, I guess, special, because that's what everybody, well, that's what the internet wanted, pretty much.
yeah.
So I think to start brand new, I'm all for it, but I think it was kind of special for this moment to see something happen like that. It's kind of like Marvel saying, "Ops, we see."
Yeah.
This is kind of like your little present for 5 minutes. So
yeah,
I'm okay with him. I'm okay without him. just as long as you make
Yeah.
it good.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that statement. It was cool that they threw him in. Like you said, we see you. We know what you want. Here's a little tease. Maybe he'll be in it. Maybe he won't. Like I said, as long as they put a good product out there, I could care less if it's him or somebody else. But it was such a small part in the movie that I can't really make a judgment if he would
Yeah.
be good in that role altogether. You know what I mean? So,
Well,
but they were saying something that with the last thing I was gonna say that I guess I seen something that said that John Watts exited the
I
Fantastic
was
Four
gonna bring
movie,
that up. Yeah.
and they were gonna say that that opened the door for John Krasinski to star and direct that movie, but I don't know.
I'll do like a Quiet Place scenario where he directs and stars in
Yeah.
it and then kills himself off.
Yeah. Puts his wife in the movie, so.
But see, okay, really fast, just addressing that thing. I think I don't know how pissed people would be, like, because she said she doesn't want to do it, and I know everyone's all money talks, but she doesn't. Like, I think I said it before. Like, if she doesn't want to do it, then I would cast somebody else because I don't want to have to pull teeth out of an actor. Like, if she doesn't want to do it, then get someone who does want to do that role, because then that would be like 10 times better. Like, as much as like Emily Blunt would be perfect casting because she's married to John Krasinski in real life, and I've seen people do the mock-up of her as it. If she doesn't want to do it, then don't like force. I would say, like, I would, even if Kevin Feige was like, oh, I could persuade her, I would, like, not that he would listen, that he listens to his damn podcast, but I would advise him to not do that and just let it be and like cast somebody else. And I don't know, like if it was Jessica Alba, I don't know how pissed people would be. If that was the case, I think it'd be funny. But yeah, I don't know. I would just say, like, if they do make John Krasinski the director, or he ends up directing a Fantastic Four and does end up being Reed Richards, I don't think he would cast his wife though. I think if she told him same thing she doesn't want to do, I don't think he'll make her do it. So I think we would get a different Sue Storm.
She might be saying that just to throw people
I know
off.
she could be doing the red herring thing too, but I mean, if she really doesn't want to do it, then I really hope they don't force her to.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can't force anybody to do anything, but I just...
Well, you can, but there's repercussions that's morally wrong.
Yeah.
But that's another
But
topic.
it might
Is this
be...
a Weinstein movie?
I know.
Ouch. Oh, yeah.
It's, like you said, it might be a red herring. Like, she might just be saying that to throw...
Yeah,
So she
I could see that too. I know that's what a lot of people are hoping, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, looking at this thing, man, there's a lot of stuff still to happen. I thought we were close to the end, and then after today prepping for the show, I'm like, holy crap, there's still a lot of phase left. We're only at, so you're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We technically still have 10 TV shows.
My expectations are really high for the Thor movie with Taika Waititi, so I'm hoping they deliver.
I know we're kind of jumping ship, but he.
Oh my god!
They're doing. What happened? What happened?
Oh no, I'm just watching part of the Kings game.
Oh, I was like, I figured that was hockey related.
They tied it up.
I'm indifferent. My team's already out, but whatever. Taika said that he feels that Gore the God Butcher is like one of the best villains that Marvel has right now. So that quote,
I believe him.
Pumped. I was like, oh, that made me. I'm excited for that. So
yeah.
And the funny thing is, he hasn't been in any of the trailers yet. And I kind of,
which is good.
I kind of piggybacking off of what Paul said. I kind of hope they don't show him, and just let us go in without knowing who he is.
Yeah. Yeah, they did a big disservice to that movie by showing Captain Carter's shield. And
when did they show it though? Was it in a TV spot or was it? Because I don't remember it being in the trailer.
It was a TV spot.
Weeks.
Oh.
Yeah, the last couple weeks.
And it was the actual like Britain version.
Yeah,
like it had the Britain the middle logo. Oh.
I would say, don't get me wrong, it got me excited, but it would have been cool to see that in the theater, you know?
Yeah. Do you want? I know, most likely Paul does, but would you want her to come back again? Like, because.
Yeah,
it still hasn't been confirmed that was the what if version.
Yeah, no, I would.
I'm okay.
I like the actress. I like the character in the cartoon. For sure, she's coming back for What If season 2. Um, I would love if Marvel would do like a What If movies. You know what I mean? Or a What If
Live
TV show,
action.
like TV live action, like how DC could do like Elseworlds, something
Yeah.
like that. I would love to them spit
The,
off
on-
and
the
just
only
like
reason
and
I
then
don't think they would do that is I think that
I think it would
it
throw
would-
people off a little
no,
bit.
I feel like that would be. I mean, it's all the matter of the way they do it. I mean, the cartoon wasn't really written by different people, but I would say like if you're gonna do What If, the way I would do What If I was live action, that I would bring like I would have that be like what is it called, like a compilation. So I would have like different directors and different writers for each episode, but at the same time, where I think that would get difficult is be like, all right, well, like certain like telling them, all right, go balls to the walls, write me a script or whatever. What do you want? Like, it's I think it would be like money wise, like okay, like how much money going to the studio? Okay, how much money do you need for this series? Oh, I don't know. I have to know what each episode is like, and like how would you like this certain writer only gets like what, like 10 million telling for their episode, but then the other writer gets like 20. I don't know. I just think like budget wise it would be like a nightmare.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say too. That you would need to have movie quality shows
Yeah.
on Disney Plus to pull something like that off, and you would have to have an overall theme of like
Well,
how you
I would
want, like
say-
how they did with the.
Loki had it too, but I'd say to me the closest that felt more like an MCU film, Disney Plus wise, was probably Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would say Loki had references of it, but I think it might have just been the way Winter and Falcon Soldier was presented. But to me, that did feel more movie than the other ones, if that makes sense. But yeah, so Phase 4, Tommy, for you is it's do you see it as Phase 1? I kind of got off topic a little bit of that, or are you just like, is it hitting for you, or are you still like unsure of what's going on with it?
I mean, I'm invested in it, so.
Well, I know you're invested, but like your feelings for it right now, do you feel like your time invested has been like worth it, or are you still waiting for it to pay off?
Waiting for it to pay off. Doctor Strange was a good it was a good starting point, I guess, for me.
Okay.
More so than any of the other ones. You know what I mean? It was a good. I
don't
don't
think
know
we
if I
ever
want to say
kind of
lived up to the
elaborated. What
expectation.
what for No Way Home didn't really, because I know you said you didn't really like it as much as we did. What?
Like, okay, some people were complaining about Scarlet Witch. They didn't like the plot or the premise of the movie. Like, they felt like I don't know what the complaint was, whatever. But with No Way Home, I felt like if Spider-Man has a conversation with Doctor Strange, that whole movie doesn't need to, all that whole sequence doesn't need to happen. The whole fighting and you know what I mean. That just didn't need to go. Like I felt if Doctor Strange would, because they're both intelligent, highly intelligent. Like he just had to explain with, hey, we have to send them back to their universe because it's gonna affect the whole multiverse. You know what I mean? If he explains that to Spider-Man, I feel like he understands and he doesn't go the route he went. So, and then on top of that, like I didn't like so if I didn't like the premise to start off, and then somebody brought it up to me like there's no way Spider-Man could have beat Doctor Strange in the mirror dimension or whatever. Like Doctor Strange is like king there, and there's no way Spider-Man. I could care less about that. But
Well, I mean, in their reference point, like they used math, and he's good at math, and there's a whole sequence where he says this is geometry,
I heard,
and
somebody told me, and then Spider-Man has superpowers compared to Doctor Strange doesn't. Doctor Strange is just a wizard, whatever, sorcerer supreme. So I could care less about.
I mean,
that,
I mean, if that were to
argument.
happen again, like keeping on with that, like yeah, it was one of those things like he underestimated him. So I was saying like going back, like if they were to have that happen again, it wouldn't happen again because Doctor Strange wouldn't let it happen again. It was like a one.
Yeah.
I think it was like a one fluke and done. Like it wouldn't happen again.
So that, and then on top of that, I felt like the action sequences, the fighting scenes were were slow paced. More, they wasn't like fast paced like how they did in Moon Knight or Civil War or Winter Soldier. Like some of those are some of the best action sequences I've seen in any of the Marvel movies. So I felt No Way Home was lacking in that, like lacking far behind. I felt it was slow paced. I felt they wasted that death of Aunt May was wasted. So I just felt that whole movie was, in my mind, it had issues. I was disappointed.
We're not all gonna
whole
agree.
thing.
It wouldn't be an interesting conversation if we all agreed. So
Yeah, those are my gripes with it. I can't really say anything that I liked about it either. I felt the jokes were missing. Some of the jokes were off. Like, I have a lot of complaints about that movie.
it's all good,
So,
man.
yeah, and the thing is, I guess I'm so disappointed because that was the first big movie with COVID, like with all
Yeah.
the COVID restrictions being lifted. So I had a high expectation for it, and I really liked the first two. So, and it was coming off of Endgame, so I was really looking forward to that movie, and it didn't live up to any of the expectations. Let me down. So, my girlfriend liked it though. She liked seeing Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and stuff in there, so she liked it.
She knew who they were, huh?
She knew who they were. She
Yeah.
watched it. She watched those movies. So.
Yeah, I don't Paul. Is anything else you want to add or?
I don't think so.
I mean, let's get come to an end. Like we've been. This is like kind of a longer episode. We're already like at the 2-hour mark. So, but yeah, I guess for me, like, kind of like how Paul said earlier, I still feel like if it's gonna follow the same track record, which they kind of seem to do, this is just the intro phase. Next phase will be more conflict, and then phase 6 would be Secret Wars. But how many years away that is, who knows? Because I'm trying to think, phase wise, is this the longest? Because it's 2021 to 2023. No.
I think the first one they were longer because
Well, no,
they
because
had-
phase 2, I was trying to, like, phase 2, I know, because Guardians is 2014, and that's already considered phase 2. Phase 3 is 2017 to 2019. Or is it 2016? Because Doctor Strange came out in 2016. And I'm trying to think when the first phase 3 movie was. I think phase 3 was the shortest phase. Because you had Infinity War and Endgame were phase 3. Hold on, I have it set up on my thing. Ant-Man and Wasp is phase 3. Black Panther's phase 3. Yeah, I think this is the longest because it's 2017 to 2019 is phase 3. 2012 to 20. Well, no. Phase 2 is longer. Or about the same. Yeah. Because Avengers came out in 2012, but did Iron Man 3 come out in 2012 or 2013? That's what the internet's for.
I have no idea.
Tell you right now. Iron Man 3 release date 2013. So that's so it was phase 2 and phase 4 have the same length of 3 years. No, phase 2 is 4 years. I can't do math.
I
Yeah,
felt
more
like
or
the
less.
first-
It's similar years. It's just phase 4 definitely has way more content than any of them.
Yeah.
This has all the same amount of movies that have been in the 3 phases. So
And I mean, in the end, this faces defense. Those first few Marvel movies, besides Iron Man and
it took them a while to get
Avengers,
footing.
yeah. And then I was gonna say too, like I didn't really care for the. I mean, I liked the first Doctor Strange, but it's like an origin story, so I felt like they really hit their stride with this one. I felt like this one was better than the original.
Yeah, because they didn't have to do that again.
They didn't have to do the whole origin. Yeah, they just kind of they know who the character is. They kind of tell a story with them.
I'm kind of
They did
hoping
all
that
the
that's
character
what
development
they
for
do
some.
with the other movies. I guess, kind of like how we kind of mentioned earlier. Like speaking back to Moon Knight, like if Moon Knight just pops up in like a movie, like I hope the movie doesn't like explain something about him. Like it's just like we don't need to because you had the show. So
Yeah,
because I think that's
hear
kind of
you.
why like I know it's DC, but like Dark Knight is like my favorite Batman movie is because like it really is one of the only movies that really doesn't really talk about his origin. Like even the Tim Burton movies, every time they because like 3 talked about his parents again because they had changed directors, and so like Dark Knight didn't bring that up, and it was just straight up like continuing, and so I think just that was cool. Like you didn't have to have shit over explained to you, so it's just that movie got to stand on its own. So I guess that's how
Like
Doctor Strange 2 felt like there was nothing. They didn't need to expand on any other character except America Chavez because you didn't know who she was, but everything else is like Scarlet Witch, Wong, Doctor Strange, so we don't need to explain them to you. This is what's happening right now in the conflict. So
Yeah, same thing with the new Batman movie. They really didn't reference the deaths too much. They didn't really have a whole scene dedicated to it.
yeah,
They talked about it a little bit. They showed the way Batman was looking at the boy after he lost his dad after Riddler took him out. So, and they kind of from that you kind of got the sense of okay, he feels for him because he was in that position when he was younger, you know.
yeah,
It's that way doing it without having a whole scene and explaining what had happened and what created him, you know.
yeah.
So.
But yeah, so I guess we'll cut it because this is already like 2 hours and 10 minutes, and I gotta trim some fat on editing this anyway. But so that's episode 34. If you stuck around this long, thank you. Please don't forget to rate the podcast, be it if you watch the video on YouTube, or if you're listening to on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play. There's a bunch of platforms we're on. I don't know. Anchor, I list them and I didn't write them down. But yeah, that's it. Next episode, because we are now, as far as like content wise, we're waiting for maybe Obi-Wan, cover Obi-Wan, but
You could cover Rescue Rangers.
oh yeah, we're gonna go see that. That's gonna be sick. I'm excited for that. 15th. Yeah, for sure. So next yeah,
Monday.
I was trying to make sure that we were passing the day. So yeah, so the next time we record, that'll probably be a review topic, and whatever else how happens. Maybe some more video game stuff. We'll try to break it down. And what's the hockey game score right now?
End of the third period, so it's going to overtime 4-4.
Ooh, sounds like a good one. But yeah, thanks again, guys. And we'll see you next time. I don't know if you guys want to say anything else, but let's dip.
No. Good night, everybody.
Later.